Welcome back to Mad Talks of Football. And Switzerland have won their game against Qatar and have qualified for the next round of the FIFA World Cup 2026 as the group leaders in their group. So let's go ahead and talk about this game. Uh, it was expected. Let's be very honest with you. At the start of the campaign, everybody thought that Switzerland was gonna, or top the group. But the way the group went, and that is why you love the World Cup. You don't really know what is gonna happen until it really happens. And you saw how Switzerland were in a tough spot. Drawing their first game, and then they won their second game quite comfortably. But today as well, I think they showed the difference between them and Canada. No disrespect to Canada, I think Canada have performed quite well. Being out of the three hosts, they are the most underdog team, if I'm being very honest. And even today, you saw the way that Switzerland started. They put the pressure on the Canadians, and for majority of the game, Canada were the team being dominated. Switzerland were quite dominated. Dominating in the play, the way they took the ball, the way that they moved the ball. You just felt there was a difference in the two teams. And Switzerland, got their chances, and the first half, I was quite shocked that they were not really able to, score any goals. It finishes a nil, and the game stays like that. Second half comes in, and Switzerland, increase at the tempo a little bit, and they start scoring the goal. They scored the first goal, then they ended up scoring the second goal. And in that moment in time, you felt like maybe the game was done and dusted. And I felt like a Canada that had a great goal advantage after defeating Qatar in a spectacular way. And the Canadians should really thank Qatar for that dreadful performance, because that has really helped them make sure that they are going to finish either one or two, because it was a very what's the word I want to use? It was a very unpredictable, and it was, it's a sort of once in a type like situation that Qatar were going to concede 6 or 7 goals, 6, 7, goals, two continuous games, and that's what happened. And so we saw that as well, today, and Canada were not really up to the level for Switzerland. They came into the game in that second half, if I'm being very honest with you. After that, second hydration break in that second half, the game switched when they scored that goal, and that sort of brought them back into the game. And you could just feel that Switzerland getting under a bit of pressure in the closing minute of the stage. If I'm being very honest with you, Switzerland were quite calm, quite confident, and they dominated the game up until, let's say, 60, 65 minutes. But the moment they concede that goal, and the crowd woke up after scoring that goal, and up until from that moment up until the end of the game, it was all Canada were the ones that were creating more chances. They were putting Switzerland under pressure, and you felt like if there was ever going to be a goal in this game after this, it was going to be the Canadian team were going to score the goal. Unfortunately for Canada, it did not happen, and the game remained, and the game finished 2-1, and Switzerland win the game, and they ended up finishing top of the group. Canada are second despite losing that game. And if I'm being very honest with you, I think Switzerland is going to be really happy. As you said, they were expected to top the group, and they have done that. They have had ifs and a little bit up and downs in the group, and they've had a little bit of hiccups. And they've played three different types of a team who have given them three different types of games as well. And I think that is going to be really helpful for them going into the round of 32 and round of 16 the knockout stages. They are one of those underdog dark horses type of a team that they don't really have that a big superstar in their team. Like for example, Norway have Erling Haaland, Sweden have Jokeres and Isak, the players that everybody talks about. But the Switzerland team, they don't really have any big star player. People are going to mention Granit Xhaka and whatnot, but as much as I love Xhaka, you don't you're not really going to put him on the level as the Jokeres and the Isaks and the Haalands and whatnot. But they are a well run machine, a well oiled machine that they are going to keep on going, and they all know about each other's antics, and they know about each other's strengths and weaknesses, and they are going to be really helpful. They move together, and I think that is going to be really important and crucial part. And teams like these are very tough in knockout stages, and Switzerland have that advantage that majority of their squad have played together for a long time. So they are on that same wavelength, and that experience can be really helpful going forward. And as I said, they have played three different type of games, so they have the experience as well. I mean, they played the North Americans, they played the Europeans, they played the Asians and whatnot, and so they, as I said, they play different type of games. So it's going to be really really helpful. I personally feel any team who gets Switzerland, they are going to be in a bit of a trouble. A game is going to be very interesting. If I'm being very honest with you, it's not going to be easy ride for any team who faces Switzerland. Canada, on the other hand, for me, like, it's a massive achievement. The way that they won their game against Qatar, the way that they performed today, even though they lost today, their performance was really good. Despite being dominated, being on the defensive for majority of the game, they came back, they scored the goal, and they took the game to Switzerland, and they put Switzerland, under a lot of pressure in that second half. And you just felt, as I said before, that if there was going to be a goal in this game after that point, it was going to be a Canada, and they came close a couple of times, but it was not meant to be. But that performance is going to be, is going to give a lot of confidence to the Canadian players, and the fans are going to be really excited about it. Jesse Marsh is going to be really happy with his team. Of course, they lost, and I know it's not a good feeling, but the way that they performed and the way that they played, I think that is really important and crucial, in terms of things that have happened. And that is why I think it was important for them to play, play a game like this, play a game like against a team like Switzerland, that are not your top team, and then they are not your bottom, like they're mid-tier team, like a mid-table club. So these type of games were very important for Canada. They are qualified for the next round. It will be very interesting to see who they face. Of course, they are going to be the underdogs, but the way that they played and the way that the crowd has been behind them, they might get a favorable draw. We still don't know who is going to be. So as the draws come by, you are going to see interesting games come up. And I personally feel both the teams who have gone from this group, Switzerland and Canada, both of them are going to end up in my opinion, quite interesting games. And you are going to see maybe a couple of upset, and maybe Switzerland and Canada might be involved in that. The fans have been really good for Canada, and they're going to be really happy for it. And for the World Cup as well, the FIFA are going to be really happy that Canada managed to, move to the next round of the World Cup, and they thoroughly deserve it. If I'm being very honest with you, their first game, the way they drew their, a game against Bosnia, thrashing Qatar 6-1, which was quite a painful watch. If I'm being very honest with you, and today again, the way that even being under pressure, they are not panicking. I think that is a big thing for them. At the start of the tournament, it was said that this is the best Canadian team that has ever come to the World Cup, and they have delivered on that promise. They have qualified to the next round. They have proved that they are the best team. They have never qualified to the group stage and knockout stage of the World Cup, and they have finally done it. So it's a big deal for Canada, and for me, like, they should be really proud about it. Are they going to be able to handle the next team? That's a different question. But tonight, even if they have ended up losing the game, it's a big night. They have qualified for the next one. So congratulations to Canada, and congratulations to Switzerland as well. That's for me in this video. Let me know your guys what is the game, and who do you think has a better chance of performing in the next round out of these two teams. Let me know in the comment section below. Like the video, share it as well, click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 600 subscribers before the end of the group stages. They are coming quickly, like 4 or 5 days remaining, and I still have 13 subscribers to go. So please go ahead and subscribe and help the channel out. Until next time, bye bye.